In the Uganda culture, people don't die. They move on, and they reside, and they're kept alive. Once you get to understand how this culture is kept alive, then the architecture just embellishes that. We build for the continuation of the spirit, from the shape of the buildings, the materials being used, and also the definition of the spaces is based on hierarchy and cutting thresholds to get to the ultimate, which is the next life.
My name is Charles Peter Maiga. I am the Katikkiro of Buganda. Katikkiro means Prime Minister. And the Katikkiro superintends the activities of the kingdom on behalf of the kabaka. Kabaka is the king. He's the epitome of what we believe in. The values that people believe in all rotate around the king. Kasubi Tombs is a symbol of our civilization. It's a symbol of our spirituality. It's a symbol of the continuity of the dynasty of the kings of Buganda. It is the only place where 4 different kings are interred. It's like a collection of our values.
The night of March 2010 was a night you wake up and the whole country was affected. Just 10% of what was inside remained. The rest was burnt to ashes. As government, we responded by immediately planning for restoration. And since then, we have been working closely with UNESCO, ICOMOS, Buganda, and ASIA at the museum.
We are at Wamala tombs. This is the mausoleum of Kabaka Sosena II. To rebuild Kasubi, we had to first correct this building. It was collapsing. That's the information we got from the ancestors. You cannot start the son's house if the father's house is collapsing. Muchijawawo kavuma muchitake dala eri muchitake eri toka chikwata First of all, I need to explain how the house was designed and built. A typical Buganda house started off with a central pole. Initially, it was laid on the ground, and then they would tie some other poles around it, and it was erected to give the shape of the roof. So, in Julius Soka, Niwafunachi, Kwatakano, 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 Kwatakano. I call it straight, Akomakati, Serogatika. Got what? Yeah? Now, they would use these. These were the nails. They would bind the house at the top, and then we'll start going down. As I mentioned to you earlier, that the foundation of our houses is up here. So, the typical Ganda house, that was the foundation of it. Backcloth is our traditional linen. It's like a red-brown, the same color as our earth. In terms of our architecture, the wrapping of backcloth on poles is to maintain the status quo in a natural material. We've made it our business to make sure that every material used in this building is accepted by the artisans.
Because every person in Buganda belongs to a clan. And certain clans play different roles. Everyone feels represented by the tombs in a way. That's why they are sacred.
Everything here is hand weaved. I always tell people these buildings are weaved. You need to know what you're doing. You just can't get anybody touching this work. So this work, for instance, is for the leopard clan and the Colobus monkey clan. So they work hand in hand in preparing it. These things, we had to rebuild the documentation from photographs, from old drawings, sketches, to get the scales right. These tombs are spiritual places. They are vessels that transport the spiritual content. It is so difficult to explain our culture of belief that somebody never dies. The kings have to interact with us who are living, and that interaction has to take place within the tomb itself. Each tomb has representation of the king's physical life. Mujaguzo is the royal drum that they play for the king. The spears are the spears he owned in his lifetime. The shields, of course, he has his personal shields. When the owner of the house, the man of the house, passes on, his spirit is supposed to leave through that pole. The wives of the kings are the ones who are given the special roles of looking after the king's well-being in the afterlife.
Buli omu omukolera kusinziira nga bw'azze. Naye kati ng'omukyala era kati tosobola kujja n'otansangawo. Eryo tteeka nnyina okubeerawo. Ate nteekwa okwaniriza abagenyi buli omu mu mutendera gwe, ne bw'oba mulalu ne nkukwata bulungi. Ne bw'oba ng'oli mukkakkamu okulongoosa ewaka ng'era omukyala bw'abeera ewaka, okutegeka ebintu by'omwami. Kati nga kino ekyoto, bino bintu bya mwami. Ate omwami wange avunaanyizibwa okumpa buli kye njagala. Kati engeri emu ey'okwogera naye, kati omuliro we gwaka ate nemubuulira nti nzize ateekwa okujja awulire njagala ki.
The challenge we have in construction, there's a sustainability in terms of vegetal materials. The grass has to come from somewhere. The reeds have to come from somewhere. Climate change is playing a big, big part in destroying that aspect of work.
There is this fight between urbanization. For Buganda in particular, it's rare to find houses like this. Most of this kind of architecture has been demolished.
The real spirituality of our cultures is going. As the Aborigines have dream keepers, I mean, we have to be like the dream keepers. the custodians of what is left.